overcompensating that like they were too cold, so they just raised that fuck up. So I just put it down. But I wake up this morning like full on drenched in sweat, like as if I had night terrors, and I go out and it's 82 fucking degrees. It's 6:25 in the morning. Yeah, dude.
Dude, why do you have no air?
Huh?
Why do you have no air?
Can't afford it. Yeah, we had to make some drastic cutbacks here, but no, the reason why I don't have AC is my landlord said the unit either needs to be cleaned or coolant needs to be recharged. I feel like it's the coolant because I feel it blowing. It's just warm air though.
So just shit out of luck. Yeah.
Okay, we just can't even talk about my AC. We just got to get right into this. Hear me. Butler.
Speaking of teams shit out of luck, how about the Celtics? God, thank God. Thank God the Celtics won or lost last night. That was music to my ears. Celtics in 7. Never doubt.
So dude, you guys should see the comments on my video I posted last night. First off, everyone's taking the fact that I said Bam Adebayo will do the best job compared to anybody else in defending Jokic. That he won't be able to stop Jokic, but he'll do his best. No fight. People are like, nobody can stop Jokic. I was like, that's what I said. I just said Bam will do like the best job at like trying. You know what I mean? Like.
Dude, I'm not trying to go at Nugget fans here, but some Nugget fans feel like they're so disrespected and they're so underappreciated that if you think you could even touch Nikola Jokic, you are heavily mistaken.
I love the Nuggets and I love all the Nuggets fans, but I will say the Nuggets, now that they're in the finals, their fans weren't this boisterous before. But like their fans now have balls. Their fans have
that's a good way.
They're ballsy now. They used to not be ballsy. They used to just kind of stay in their own corner and then show up in arguments with like the data when needed. But now, so this is like, but now they've literally, if you say anything, they're like, oh, you Jokic, like Jokic wrong. They deserve it. They've earned the right. They've earned the rights. But they have really, they weren't on their high horse before, but now they have the highest horse.
Yeah, and you also don't watch basketball if you say anything that isn't.
Oh yeah.
To some, definitely not all Nuggets fans, and definitely not the majority.
No, it's not all Nuggets fans. There are some Nuggets fans that. It's usually Jamal Murray and Jokic are the two untouchable players when you're talking about the Nuggets that, like, again, it's not all Nuggets fans. It's certain Nuggets fans that if you share any sort of criticism, not even criticism, just like, hey, this might be a weakness, something they just like, no, like, how dare you?
Don't have weaknesses. They don't.
Yeah.
They figured out basketball. They're not going to lose a game this series. Trust me.
Yeah. All right. So I will admit one thing that I don't think I talked about enough, but a few people that were Nugget supporters brought up good opinions. How much will fatigue play into this matchup for the Miami Heat?
I don't think it'll play at all.
Nick,
hockey.
I think more injuries, like how healthy can the Heat stay? Because again, the Heat don't have many great players. Facts are facts. So if they can keep the healthy players on the floor, that's going to be key. And Tyler Hero, that's going to be awesome. Maybe he ruins the entire team there.
I mean, Tyler Hero coming back could be helpful. We don't know if he's going to be the guy who's going to be playing impactful minutes or if they're going to slowly bring him off the bench. But I don't know what the the right way to go about this. Okay, who is the favorite in terms of? Okay, obviously it's the Nuggets. That's obvious, but like, are we expecting a sweep? What's an actual expectation we can have?
Nuggets in 6,
Did
probably.
I cut out?
Yeah. Do you have something under your mouse thing? Because I don't know if Nick can hear it, but I can. Can you hear that?
I think,
What is it?
Like you
What
I
is
don't
it?
know what it is. It's probably if you
Is it
you
my
have a mouse, it's probably
to the
that.
mouse.
That. Yeah.
Is this better? Is this better? Is this better?
Yeah, I don't hear
Is
anything.
it still there?
No.
No.
Yeah. Oh, is it when you
It's
hit
good.
it?
Yeah. This?
Oh. No. Not
That's
that.
the sound of me clicking.
Yeah, it's not that. It's that.
Was it more? Oh, shaking
Yeah, it's
the
like
table.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
I don't
shaking
know
the
if
table.
other
when
people
I'm using
can.
my
I have
mouse.
you guys pretty high, so I don't. It's probably not even a thing.
No. Here, what I'll do
Find
is
another play.
guess
Yeah.
what? I'm putting my mouse on the other table, so it's not on the same table as my microphone. Okay. Now let's get right back. I was like over here, like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? You fucking spaz. But
I couldn't
Jackson's
not
off
hear
the
it.
crack again.
I just couldn't not hear it once I heard it the first time.
No, thank you for telling me that. Always trying to improve. Also, I want to rebuild the show this week on StreamYard. I'm gonna build I have a whole plan, but
To add football in. Perfect.
Yeah.
Tad, yeah.
Football. Oh yeah. I
You
think
could add
the
football.
Nuggets win this. For sure. I think they're just the better team. I don't know if fatigue or injuries will necessarily play a part. Jimmy, I don't think gets tired that easily, so I think they'll be fine. They also have a couple of nights off, right? We don't get started till Thursday. Yeah, we don't get started till Thursday, so the Nuggets are definitely more rested than Miami. Miami's had to play a couple playing games, but I don't think it'll be the deciding factor. I think the deciding factor will be the Nuggets are probably just the better team, but hopefully the Heat can continue their playing like Heat. I don't know, man. We'll see. It should be a fun one. I'll probably be rooting
Nick?
for Miami.
Yeah, it's good to see after the Heat could just easily handled the Celtics. To see them up against a Nuggets team. Will the Jimmy Butler led Heat probably fail? Yeah. Will I still be rooting and believing in Jimmy Butler? Anything could happen with Jimmy Butler on the court. The Nuggets are the better team. Really, realistically, Nuggets in 5 or 6. But again, Jimmy Butler needs to just come out and be himself. Anything could happen. Bam could make this a series too. And guarding Jokic, maybe some rust from the Nuggets as well. They haven't played in a while. So maybe they forget how to play basketball. And then you do have to remember Michael Porter Jr. is on that team. And he could be like Jaylen Brown last night and take 23 shots and miss them all. So, yeah, kind of anything could happen.
I agree that anything can happen in this series. I do agree 5 or 6 games for the Nuggets, but we have to say anything can happen, and that this could be something that we end up looking back at, and maybe it's a 7-game series. We don't know what Jimmy Butler's capable of. We don't know what this team is capable of in terms of they were the 8th seed. They've overcame every mountain that's been needed to be overcome to get here. So what's another mountain for them to climb is what I would say. And I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts. Is there, regardless of injury, regardless of health, these rosters straight up, is there a way for the Heat to win this? Jimmy Butler have to go insane again? I personally think the Denver Nuggets might be too much of a formidable foe for them to overcome. I have said this. You're going to use Bam Adebayo, which Bam Adebayo compared to all other bigs that Jokic has faced this playoffs, Bam arguably is the most versatile defensively, meaning that he'll be able to equally guard Jokic in the perimeter and inside. Not saying that he'll be able to stop him, but he'll do the best job at defending him compared to, everyone else they've played so far this playoff. The real matchup, in my opinion, the deciding factor for how the Nuggets will win, and if the Heat want to have a chance of stealing some games or even trying to win this series, is Jamal Murray. I know people don't believe it, but Jokic is going to have to fight Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler, and whoever else is going to be playing the front for the Heat. Jamal Murray is going to be playing Gabe Vincent, Tyler Hero maybe, and Kyle Lowry. All right, maybe a little bit of Max Strus, Caleb Martin, Duncan Robinson, and Jimmy Butler thrown in there, but primarily Kyle Lowry, Gabe Vincent, and Tyler Hero when he returns. If you can take Jamal Murray out of the game, if you can make him play bad, you think that'll give the Heat a chance to win games? Is that the X factor that the Heat need to take out of the game to tell Jokic do it by yourself, or tell Jokic to rely on MPJ and Aaron Gordon? What are your thoughts, guys?
The Heat might win this series. The Heat might win the finals. They beat Milwaukee. They won a playing game. They beat the Knicks. They beat the Celtics. You can't. They're the second 8th seed ever to make the NBA Finals. So you can't really logically evaluate them. And it's just like new guys every single night. If Caleb Martin's going to continue to play the way he played in the conference finals, they have as good of a shot against any team in the entire world. If Jimmy and Bam, get some rest, get some, sleep in your bed before you head to Denver. Oh no, they're already at Denver. So adjust to that high, that altitude. But yeah, Gabe Vincent, Kyle Lowry, Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, probably Caleb Martin. These are all guys who are gonna make an impact. So, the Lakers were in just about every one of those games, and then they'd blow it in the fourth quarter. It would usually be Jamal Murray that you're talking about to be the one to step up and be like, yeah, fuck that. I'm gonna drop 20 points in this quarter. So
that's what I'm saying.
I think it's phenomenal.
If that I have felt this whole time. That's what I said in my. I wouldn't doubt that. I said Nuggets win in 6, but I have said this whole time that I personally believe if the Heat want to have any chance of winning any games, you have to take Jamal Murray out the game. There's no way of you being able to stop Jokic. That's not physically possible. There's no one on this earth. Like, a bad game for Jokic is 18, 10, and 9, okay? That's what you're going to hope to hold him to. But you got to tell Jamal Murray, we're not going to let you get your buckets. Tell MPJ, tell Aaron Gordon to shoot threes and MPJ to drive on you. What do you think, Nick?
I think Jamal Murray is going to be the X factor for Denver if the series does get close. Because oh god, Siri went off for me. I said Siri and then and Siri on my computer shut up. God damn it, I did it again. Okay, sorry. I think Jamal Murray could take over the game in the fourth quarter. Yeah, the Heat need to figure out who's going to be the Jamal stopper. And yeah.
I see Jimmy's probably going to want some of that. Martin's going to want some of that. But Lowry and Gabe should do on their own a pretty decent job at it, especially
Lowry's
Gabe.
Agreed. And Lowry's not a big enough butt, so it's hard to get around him. So
they're just going to make it annoying. I think when we look at it on paper, obviously, the Nuggets are just the team. But The Nuggets have had so much time to prepare, and I think head coach Mike Malone, who's the third longest tenured active coach in the NBA right now, he's gonna get this team so right.
What's up, bitches?
Hey,
I was taking a shit just like the Heat shit all over the Celtics last night.
true. That is true.
Yeah.
Guys, we have Boston Sports Dirtbag joining the show right now.
Yeah.
So,
We're doing better today. I mean, like, the game was over at halftime, so like
Luke,
no,
I was
it
Caleb
wasn't
Martin.
like what? Oh
Caleb
yeah,
Martin.
I had a nightmare about Caleb Martin last night.
should the Celtics today's topic of headline? Now that Luke's here, should the Celtics open up a bakery with all the turnovers?
Oh, they could. They could also be construction workers too. A bakery / construction business with all those bricks. God,
do you have any opinion on what the Boston Celtics should do now? Because Miami's a pretty good city, and so you could save some money and just stay in Miami for the postseason trip, or should they actually go to Mexico?
There's no point in traveling to Miami now. Like, they're already in Boston. If you're going to go all the way south to Miami.
No, I'm saying they're already in Miami. Oh,
no, they're not.
Right.
They're in Boston, so it doesn't make sense to go to Miami. So, like, they should just go to Cancun. Like,
yeah, because you're right. It's not even.
It doesn't make sense to go.
I say they should just go to Amsterdam. Let's get everyone a hooker, okay?
Let's get everyone shrooms so they can take a soul-searching journey to think about what the fuck just happened. They just came all the way back from 3-0.
You know who needs a soul? No, you know who needs their soul searched? You know who needs his soul searched? Derek White. Derek White needs to figure out who the fuck he wants to be after this. Because Derek White is going to go back in. I know. And Derek White's going to come back next season and start the season shooting 36% from three and 38% from the field. And you're going to be like, Derek, though. Like,
Derek, why do you suck?
It's not even that he sucks. He'll still be good. It's just Derek White touched God. Okay.
Yeah, Derek White and Caleb Martin touched God.
There's nothing like watching Boston with the season on the line. Let Derek White be their offense in the fourth.
Because nobody else could put the ball in the fucking basket. Dude.
What do you mean? Caleb Martin literally just told us all, "I'm the better twin."
Yeah,
it
was
Caleb Martin. Caleb Martin told everybody that he's a franchise player.
No, but he basically said, like, people forgot there was another twin called Cody. There is only Caleb.
Yeah, people forgot about Cody Martin.
You know, Cody Martin's free agency pitch this offseason is going to be like
Caleb's brother.
That's identical twins, same gene.
Do you think some teams actually think Cody's Caleb and they watch the highlight? They're like, oh shit,
we gotta get Cody. This guy. You know what I think is gonna happen? Some team is gonna like.
It's not like the Brett Favre situation. That's what I was making a joke. Somebody's gonna pay Cody. I'm pretty sure it won't be possible though. They both signed this past offseason. They signed their second contracts. Like, they're both on their new contracts this season. For like 2 more seasons. So this will be 2 years down the road. So it's not going to happen. But if they were both going to free agency this year, and Caleb got paid like 4 years 72, somebody was going to be paying 4 year 64, 4 year 48.
And then when Cody doesn't turn out like Caleb does, they're going to be like, well, why can't you do that, Cody? What happened to you? Why can't you be like
It's like that movie Twins with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito, where Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito are twin brothers, but Arnold Schwarzenegger got every gene that a man would want, and Danny DeVito got every gene that a man wouldn't want. So one guy looked like Luke, and the other guy looked like Nick. And you know what I mean, basically.
I've never seen this movie. This movie.
So, and they don't know that they're identical twins. And then one day they get a letter in the mail, and it turns out Arnold Schwarzenegger he's like, I'm here to meet my twin brother. Danny DeVito walks out of the car, and like Arnold Schwarzenegger is like 6'5", ripped. And he's like, they say each other's last name. They both realize they're brothers. 2 years later, they made a sequel to that movie. They're no relation, but it's a sequel, same producer, same writer, called Junior. Danny DeVito is a scientist, and he gets Arnold Schwarzenegger pregnant, and he becomes the first man to give birth.
What the fuck were they doing? What the fuck were they doing in the late 80s, man?
I'm telling
Oh
you,
my
twins and junior.
Oh my god, what the fuck were they doing, dude?
Now, we were giving our
Ew.
predictions when Luke came in here. Luke, I basically said for the Heat to stand any chance of beating the Nuggets, they have, and because Bam Adebayo is going to be the most defensively versatile player that Jokic is going to face in the playoffs. Not like it's going to stop him, but at least it'll be the best job at trying to limit him. The person that the Heat need to stop to win this series is Jamal Murray and tell the Nuggets, Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., Christian Brown, Bruce Brown, and the boys are going to have to beat us. What are your thoughts? I say this is 6 games for the Nuggets. What is your prediction? 5 Nuggets?
Nugs and 5.
Can you use your word?
Nugs and 5. I mean, like you said, they have to stop
Why?
Jamal Murray. But even if they stop Jamal Murray, dude, can they actually beat the fucking Nuggets? Because you got even if they stop Jamal Murray, you still got to stop the 2-time MVP on the other side. And I just don't see how they can do that, especially when Bam's been playing like shit for a lot of the playoffs too. Especially the end of the Celtics series. Thank God that Caleb Martin stepped up for them because Bam played like shit. So Bam's gonna have to step up if he won't have any chance of winning the series.
I was saying when you joined, Mike Malone has plenty of time to prepare for these type of situations. If we're keeping it a buck here, Jokic didn't do good against the Lakers.
But they still won.
They smoked them.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is Jokic didn't do good against the series against the Lakers. The Lakers blew every single fourth quarter lead imaginable because of Jamal Murray and their own dysfunction. So that's what gives me hope for the Miami Heat if they could not blow a fourth quarter lead if they have it. However, they like having the fourth quarter deficit, so maybe that doesn't even matter.
Yeah, and also they did almost blow a 3-0 lead against the team that's a definition of dysfunction. They almost blew a 3-0 lead against. So the Nuggets.
What I want to say right here, some guy commented. So I've been saying Bam defensively is the best matchup for Jokic. Not that he's going to stop Jokic because it's impossible to stop Jokic. But no, AD isn't as AD 5 years ago probably, but AD doesn't have the perimeter ability. Dude, Jokic
now is
yes, he does. Right, he does have the perimeter ability.
I personally
top 5 defensive player in the National Basketball Association.
And Bam Adebayo is a top 5, maybe top 3 defensive player in the league. Bam Adebayo is probably the best defensive center in the league, arguably all around. All around. He's the only
Anthony Davis that still exists, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm telling you right now. No, listen to this. Bam Adebayo is the most all-around defensive center in the league. Tell me one guy who can guard 1 through 5.
Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis.
I don't think Anthony Davis. Yes, he can, but not like he used to.
We saw it in the playoffs. Yeah, we saw it.
It's Anthony Davis.
We just saw it. We just saw it all playoffs, actually.
I don't know.
I think we saw it for 3 series.
I think
the Lakers had no shot all playoffs if AD wasn't AD. So,
yeah, it's Anthony Davis, man. No disrespect to Bam. Bam is one of the top defensive centers in the NBA for sure.
And Bam's gonna be able to do an adequate job against Nikola Jokic. I don't think he's gonna. You can't completely shut down Jokic, as we were just talking about. A bad game for Jokic against AD was
25, 10, and 10,
9 and 19. Yeah, 24, 10 and 10. Exactly. Well, I mean, he's still gonna get a triple double.
No, maybe Cyro's right, and Bam is the Jokic stopper, and we just haven't seen this yet. Maybe Bam fits well with Jokic, and he's Jokic's kryptonite.
Okay, let me fuck you guys. Fuck all of you. This is what I'm thinking. Fuck all of you. Okay. What I'm saying is Bam Adebayo's defensive ability. Okay, first off, we're gonna sit here. You cannot tell me that Bam Adebayo is less athletic than Anthony Davis at this point in Anthony Davis's career. Yeah,
Like,
crickets.
I don't view Bam
Hey,
Adebayo as this
crickets.
freak athlete.
But he's not like he's not like he's more athletic than Anthony Davis now. But like Anthony Davis is also taller, longer arms, a better shot blocker.
I'm not
come
denying that. Yes,
on.
Anthony Davis is the better fucking rim protector. But against Jokic, rim protection does not fucking matter.
He's a better
okay?
overall defender. in
Jokic,
general.
I don't know. I think, okay, let me re-switch this argument. Bam Adebayo is the better perimeter defender between Anthony Davis and Jokic. That we can agree on. If you had to say, I want a guy guarding the perimeter, AD or Bam, you say Bam because he's more laterally quick and
continue to
athletic.
say Anthony Davis because he might be
I
the
don't
best
know.
defender in the league.
You still
I will
like-
never.
But now,
I
if you're
will
telling
never
me
select
you
Bam
want
over
Bam,
Anthony.
I would
any
rather
facet
have
of
Bam
anything
chasing
in
guards and
basketball.
wings for 20 minutes of a game.
I will tell
than
you
I'd
this.
rather have Anthony Davis chasing
Cyril,
guards and wings for 20
I
minutes of a
don't
game.
want Bam Adebayo forever at any point, previous, past, future, present, whatever it is. I will never select Bam Adebayo over Anthony Davis in any facet of basketball, ever. Ever.
I got a
Next.
question for you there. Yeah. What if Bam or what if AD gets into like a big car accident, breaks his leg? Would you select Bam then?
Then I will
or-
select Bam Adebayo for the future.
What if
Okay,
he has a
really.
Cam Newton-esque crash?
Cam Newton
Yeah.
came back from that crash. If he can
I
come
will
back
still
from that crash,
probably
I'm
go with
still
Bam
taking
Adebayo. These
Did he
are
come back
decent
from that
points
crash?
You guys are bringing up.
Cam Newton did come back from that accident that you're talking about.
Yeah, it wasn't
if
good.
If it was a Cam Newton accident, it actually was pretty good, if I'm not mistaken. What was that Cam accident?
Okay. So
The
there
Tiger
is
Woods
no
accident.
belief
Oh yeah, he
that
won.
you
Ciro,
guys-
Ciro, hold up. So you know what happened after that accident that you're talking about, dude? Cam won MVP after that accident.
No fucking shit.
I'm taking Anthony Davis.
Wait, I thought that accident.
Revoked. I go
2014 in December. They lost in the playoffs.
I thought
Like a
it
week
was.
later.
What was 2017? What happened in 2017 then?
He had 3 shoulder surgeries in the offseason.
Oh, okay. I'm mixing up.
Yeah, he the accident. He came back and won MVP.
Jekoslav. I really can't say your name. I'm sorry, but you're right. No. I will admit, Bam Adebayo will fucking suck on offense. I don't know what happened. He became inept on offense. I mean, the man missed a bunny layup against, I think, like Grant Williams or like Derek or Marcus Smart. I mean, good defenders, but still, it was at the rim.
You're Bam
Okay.
though. You're Bam against those guys at the rim.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
just throw it down.
Like you're Bam.
Okay.
His stats aren't even that bad, but it was I mean, the last 2 games at Boston was not good.
You know, Bam does have a little bit of jolt, like a little bit of pep in his step more than AD. I feel like he kind of gets up to the rim a little bit more. He looks a little bit more athletic sometimes. So I think.
All right,
he'll
who's the
handle it
Avs
better.
for the?
Does anyone want to take a guess at how many blocks Bam Adebayo averaged this season? Please, real quick. Just anyone.
Hey,
take a guess.
like 1.5.
1.2.
No.
1.2.
1.2.
0.8.
The answer's 0.8, and I think you probably have a pull up because you look down.
No,
but
I
yeah.
don't. I have my North Shore Connect pulled up right now. I
Nice, yeah,
swear to
so-
God. I
yeah,
didn't
so
it's
have-
0.8.
0.8 blocks.
That was a guess.
So
What's
the
AD? What's
conversation's-
AD?
The argument's over, right?
What's
So
AD, like 1.5 or something? And that's low for him.
I'm gonna guess actually 1.7.
That's low for him. Though.
I'm gonna go 1 point.
Give me your
1.5?
guesses. Let's hear it.
1.5.
1.5. All right, we got 1.5.
1.8.
1.8. Ciro, I want you to do this one the most. No Google. Ciro.
No,
guess,
I'm
take
doing a
guess.
different thing.
But take
I
a
don't know
guess,
what
take
you're
a
asking
guess.
me to guess.
How many blocks did
What is
Anthony
the
Davis
guess?
average this season?
Like 1.7.
1.7. Ciro's the closest. The answer was 2.
Still
Combo
2.
over.
Still 2. Yeah. Okay. There it is.
I will also say Anthony Davis had 108 defensive rating this season, and Bam Adebayo had 110. Okay.
I will also say really quickly, Anthony Davis
you-
in the playoffs averaged 3.1 blocks per game this year.
I will also say that defensive rating is also a team statistic, just like offensive rating. I will also say that it's based on how good your team does when you're on the floor.
Okay, we have spent 30 minutes on this preview and prediction.
Yeah, wait. Before we
I am
stop
done with
this
this
can
preview and
can
prediction.
ask
Shut
one
the fuck
question
up,
to you?
everyone.
No, I have one more question. Ciro, how many guys are on a
No, I have
basketball-
one question to
No,
you.
how many guys play on the basketball court at the same time? I just had a question. Can you answer that for me?
Hey, Luke. Luke, you're the product of inbreeding. Okay, so we're just gonna move on. Okay, so like
he doesn't know
what I
how many
wanna
guys
say
there.
right
He
here
thinks that
is-
there's one guy on the court at the same time. That's why he said Bam's got a better.
Shut the no, okay. You guys, this is collusion. You guys are colluding against me. Okay, collusion.
Hey, if you say something stupid like when you said
And
the Hawks
I
and
just
the Celtics, we got to call you out on it.
Okay, they took him to 6 games to suck my dick.
It's the Celtics, bro. Anybody can take them to
Yeah.
6 games. The
No,
Sixers
but
took
what
us
I
to
want to
7.
say right here, what I want to say to wrap up this whole thing, I have Nuggets in 6. You guys had Nuggets in 5 or 4. Let's just give the benefit of the doubt. How can the Heat win this? And it would obviously have to be a 7-game series, but how would they do it? I want to hear your thoughts. I've said you got to take Jamal
A
Murray.
large dose of Caleb Martin. That is how
I'm
they
gonna
win.
select it right here. I'm gonna predict it because I've been not on
Will
the
Kevin
Denver
Love
hype
be
train
able
all
to be on the
season.
floor?
No. He's gonna get played off the floor because he doesn't match up defensively against
Unless he
anybody.
can
for the
match
Nuggets.
up against Uncle Jeff. I'm going Heat in 7 here. I'm gonna go Heat in 7.
That's a
The
good
Denver
sign for
Nuggets
the
have
Nuggets.
the Denver Nuggets have never won or been to an NBA Finals. So, yeah, that's all you need right there. A heavy dose of Caleb Martin, Jimmy Butler. I'm so sick of hearing Jimmy Butler. I think Jimmy is probably too, but Bam Adebayo, the step up. He's going to cement himself as the second best big man defensively in the NBA after this series. And Gabe Vincent and Kyle Lowry are going to do crazy, unimaginable things.
You know what, Jackson? I love the switch up because the past couple weeks you've just been saying the Heat,
Lakers,
Celtics in 7,
Lakers,
oh my God.
Celtics.
Yeah, Lakers, Celtics, dude. And then this series, Celtics, Heat, man. Celtics, dude, they're coming back. Celtics in 7.
They
You guys are
almost
fucking
did.
idiots. They almost did.
You're wearing a
They
freaking
almost
Boston
did.
hat, you douche. Every Boston fan's gonna be like, "Fuck this Boston guy."
Exactly. I'm not a Boston fan. My doctor's calling me right now, so actually, I'm gonna take this call really quick.
Okay.
I'm next.
Luke.
I'm next doctor. So
Like I said earlier, a heavy dose of Caleb Martin is going to be how the Heat win this game, unless Bam can figure out what the fuck is happening on offense. Because Jimmy Butler is not going to be able to do like Jimmy Butler performances every game and score like 30. Because even if he scores like 30 a game, they still probably won't have enough to win the series unless like Bam decides to get his shit together on offense, or Caleb Martin does Caleb Martin things. But Nuggets in 5. With all that being said,
now,
I don't think they have enough.
Now we got to talk about something. All right, and you know what that is?
Eric Lewis is burning.
We talked about that yesterday. You missed out. Should have came on the show. Pussy.
Damn it!
No,
It's
but
Memorial Day.
show goes every day, baby. Also, the son of Iowa head coach Fran McCaffrey's son, Connor McCaffrey, is joining the Indiana Pacers.
As a what? Like
Running
in
the
like what
scout
form?
team. Running scout team and helping with film study. So probably like an intern.
Drop something. Oh
Low-key
yeah.
nepotism.
What is that? Is that like
Low-key.
Connor? Is that like Connor McCaffrey?
Connor McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Look.
He was shit. He was shit at Iowa.
Yeah, just a nepto.
Yeah, it was a nepotism hire because like Fran has been a coach at Iowa for like the last 30 years almost, and like he's well respected in the industry. So it's the same reason why Bill Self's kid got a job with the Spurs as a scout.
Yeah, and like there's a KU connection with RC Buford and Greg Popovich.
RC was an assistant with Bill, so it just makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, like
RC's son was assistant with Bill.
no,
Other
RC
than Chris
was.
Buford.
RC was an assistant with Bill. Look it up.
Self?
RC Buford.
RC
RC was under Larry Brown in the 80s, dude.
That's what I'm saying. You said Bill.
And Bill and RC together were both assistants under Larry Brown in the 80s at Kansas. They both were.
I didn't know Bill Self was going to. I didn't know Bill Self.
Prior
Shut the fuck up. I didn't know Bill. Yes, I know. I'm looking. I didn't know Bill Self was A, from Wichita, Kansas, and went to Friends, and B, I didn't know RC Buford. I mean, I didn't know Bill Self was on Larry Brown's squad.
They both played college ball at Oklahoma State, if I'm not mistaken.
Oklahoma State.
They both.
I
played
know
college
that
ball at
RC.
Oklahoma State.
I know RC Buford met Greg Popovich through his time at KU because Greg Popovich spent one season as a volunteer assistant. That's why he's not in any of the books or anything because there's no record because he did it unpaid. But if you look on like sources and stuff, Greg Popovich says he spent the 88 or 89 season with the KU as a volunteer. He didn't like literally work for free.
Yeah.
But so I just want to here we go, guys. Jason Tatum wants Celtics to give Jaylen Brown an extension. It's extremely important. He's one of the best players in the league. How vital is it, you fucking Boston scumbag, Luke? That
I mean,
Jaylen
it's pretty.
Brown gets that extension.
He played like shit in Game 7, but like it's kind of.
Well, for me, I see he'll accept the extension, get the bag, and then in a year say, "Hey, Atlanta, send DeJounte Murray over here."
Yeah, at least they can. It's important because at least even if he does leave, they can at least trade him and get something. But also just the fact that like you can't really let a guy like that walk. So, like you gotta give him the extension, and then if it doesn't work out, or if they have a better offer to like flip him for like I don't know KD or something or whatever, you have to do it. But like Jason Tatum's hit the nail on the head here. Like the Celtics, Jaylen Brown may not be a Celtic, but it won't be because he leaves for nothing. The organization isn't that fucking stupid.
Jaylen Brown have 8 times more turnovers than threes made last night. But
he had more turnovers than the entire Heat team at one point in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. I mean, you got to pay the man. I really liked that idea of a DeJounte for Brown switch. I think that fits both teams perfectly.
Yeah, but the Celtics wouldn't do that straight up.
I would do that straight up.
No.
I wouldn't do it straight up, but
fine, give me John
Collins. If you threw me some picks for Jaylen Brown.
Give me John Collins.
Give me John Collins or Clint Capella. Give me John Collins because Al Oldford is getting old.
Is Jaylen Brown good enough to be a number 1 on a playoff team?
Number 1 on a bad playoff team.
Yeah.
Number 1 on a bad playoff team. Number 2 on a good playoff team.
Him and Trae Young are the next LeBron and Kyrie duo.
Jaylen Brown just wants to go somewhere where he can be Malcolm X. You can't be Malcolm X in Boston.
You can't do that shit in Boston.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown's just too smart for Boston. I think that's.
I think he is too smart for Boston. I think he really is.
Jaylen Brown is like on it. Jaylen Brown also seems like the type of guy who doesn't smoke weed.
He probably tried it once.
He
probably tried it once and didn't like it. Like he's like LeBron.
No, he just doesn't want.
Tried it once. LeBron tried it in high school and he didn't fuck with it. That's what Jaylen Brown is. He didn't like how it affected his thoughts, Cyro.
Do you see what Le'Veon Bell just said yesterday?
What?
He said he would smoke before games and then rush for 150 and 2 tutties.
Oh,
that's what Calvin Johnson would do. He smoked before every game. Yeah. And fucking Josh Gordon.
Shut the fuck up, guys. Josh Gordon used the true go. Josh, shut the fuck up over here. No, let me tell you. I was about to say that. So Josh Gordon used to take a Xanax bar, drink a pint of Grand Marnier, and smoke 2 blunts before every single game for like 4
I like how you said. Okay. I like how it said pint of Grand Marnier.
A pint is that booze?
Pint of Grand.
Yes.
It's cognac. You just drink a pint of fucking cognac.
What's cognac? Is that a liqueur?
Like expensive? It's like Hennessy. It's like Hennessy. It's Henny, but it's more expensive, and it's more expensive. Grand Marnier. It's what I bought for my 21st. I bought myself a tiny bottle of Grand Marnier, which was like $50, just like a tiny pint. And he drank a whole pint before every game. Took a Green Hulk Xanax bar, and then would smoke blunts with Johnny Manziel or whoever else on the team before games. Led the NFL in receiving yards and touchdowns.
When I used to smoke with my buddy in our last year of college, and every time we'd smoke before we played basketball, we'd be on the court like losing it. We'd be like, why the fuck do we do this? I don't know how you play football.
Yeah, no, fuck no. I tried playing basketball before, and it doesn't fucking work.
By halftime, I'd be sleeping at halftime.
Yeah, I
kind of like it.
Oh, I'm gonna go. I play Stone. I go to the rec.
Yeah, I don't know how you do that.
I like to
I don't
take
know
my
how you like to
Adderall.
run on
I like-
while you're high.
I like taking my Adderall and then getting really high and playing high on my Adderall, like high off of weed, but still on my Adderall. Because, bro, my stroke. The only thing I will say con mouth, but I don't know. I like playing basketball stoned. I also I've also realized my cardio is like, you can ask Luke. I've realized I kind of have I have above normal
He has,
average. My cardio is
the other day, there was 5 of us. We were running a game at the rec outside, and so we played 2 or 3 games, and every single one of us was like, "We're not doing this shit," because we were running with these 5 randos, and so we were done after 2 or 3 games. And Cyro was like, "Come on, guys, let's keep playing," and everyone's just like, "What the fuck, dude? We're done. It's hot as shit. We want to go home."
full court.
When
Yeah,
Swaggy
full court,
moves the floor,
5-on-5 full court.
we're gonna run some hoops. I like to get good amount of games in as well. They're not
I'll
handing
play
me the
3
ball.
games.
They're not giving me the ball to take over. I got plenty of gas in the tank here.
The first time I ever smoked a bong, I went and played intramural soccer, and I broke a kid's leg. But I went off in the soccer game, though. So I'm a big, I think sportsman. Scored 5
I broke a
goals.
kid's ankle playing basketball this past year in the Greek league because I'm like a menace and I don't give people room to land. And I went up for a rebound I went up for a rebound and I took his rebound out of his hand, but I went into space, so he landed on my foot. And bro, I heard something pop, and I just kept
Jason
playing.
Tatum. There's the Jason Tatum ankle injury.
Yeah,
Oh,
I heard something pop, and I took the ball up the court, and I saw the kid just limp to the sideline, and I was like, "Oh, dude, that ankle at the very least is a very bad ankle."
It's a bad sprain. That's a bad sprain.
At least on a good, because I literally, I jumped up, grabbed the rebound, and he landed. This is my foot. He landed on my foot like this, and I literally felt his foot go like that. And
exactly
I just
like
took the
Tatum.
ball, and I just kept running. And I literally in my head, I was like, "Oh, dude! Best case scenario, that kid's fucking ankle is sprained, not broken, but more than likely that ankle was fucking broken."
Probably not, dude. Ankles pop a lot more than you would think.
Right,
Is that the picture? Up there.
Go right.
Oh.
He's in the background.
Yeah, his entire team is around him.
Oh, it's the other guy. Okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you just altered his life.
You did. Heavy thoughts went high.
That guy will have
Like an intramural
major leg issues forever.
I remember he tried to get up and he just couldn't stand, and then I was like, "Oh shit!"
What'd you do? Just come in with a fucking
He Roy Keaned him, leg
yeah.
to the fucking thigh, leg to
Yeah,
the thigh or chin.
I know it was my shin to I think their leg or upper leg, but I don't remember. I think it was just when you both go to kick the ball. I think that kind of happened, and I just hit him in the wrong place.
In MMA, it's like in UFC whenever
Nick is just so much of an athlete. Right? Nick is just such a powerful athlete.
Yeah. It's like in MMA when you check a leg kick and the leg snaps in half like Anderson Silva. That's what happened.
And I was if I felt any pain, there was this was my second time smoking in my life, and I just ripped the bong. So I was wrong.
This is the Sigma Chi president, and then they can't do anything about it.
Exactly.
Listen to this. So we were getting blown out. So this past year in Greek League, we were getting blown out in a basketball game. It was the semifinals to go into the finals, and we're getting blown out. So and also the guy who was running our being our coach was terrible at rotations.
Who was that? Was that Landon?
Landon, yeah, he would put out 5 shooters with no rebounders. So 5 guys would be shooting, no one chasing the rebound. And then he'd put me out there with Stin and 3 non-shooters. So I was the best shooter on the floor when I would go on the floor. And not saying that I'm a bad shooter, but I should be the 3rd option on a decent squad. You know what I mean? I'm cleanup duty or when I get open. So I should have been the 5th guy when the other 4 good shooters So we were just
Yeah.
there. But when we ended up the game, at the end of the game, we're down by 20. So our boy Ashton starts setting like the dirtiest screens. And
Big
at
guy,
one point, he comes out
large
of nowhere.
guy too.
Large guy comes out of nowhere, just decks somebody. Medgay decks somebody. So a whole fist fights break out during the game, and we start fist fighting the other team. So they blow the whistle, forfeit the game. The game's called off, and because a fight broke out, both teams were disqualified. So even though we were losing by 20, we got the other team disqualified, and the team that made it to the championship won by default because they didn't have anyone to play. Because both teams in the semifinals were disqualified. We got the other team disqualified because we got them to fight us, even though we were down by 20. So I say that's a win.
No, that's a win. That's a win right there.
People are
is.
trying to fight. The last time I was at the rec in college, this dude punched my buddy, and we had to take him to the ER to get stitches.
Oh my god, yeah, I remember.
So I don't
that.
even. Yeah,
What type of fights are you guys getting in?
This is Chicago, bro.
Yeah, this is different. We're fighting white Kansas. It's more of like
It's easy.
who's got a bigger
It's
dick.
easy. We're fighting white Kansas. It's fucking easy.
Like lose.
people
You're
aren't
supposed
really-
to lose
people aren't-
these games.
Yeah, most of these
Otherwise-
fights turn into like wrestling matches.
Yeah,
White
it's
people
easy.
wrestle. White people wrestle. I realized.
Because they don't want their faces. They don't want their faces to get busted up. That's why.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah, because like a lot of most of the fights I've seen, like one or two punches are thrown, and then one of the other guys tackles the other guy, and then
And they grab each other and they start hugging.
I grab each other and they start. Yeah, that's how I've always. Yeah.
That's how all the white
Most
people
like
fights are.
most of the fights like where I grew up in like a white affluent area was like maybe one or two punches were thrown and then the other guy tackled the other guy and then they just turned into a wrestling match till one guy tapped out. Or like
Yeah, I'd rather fight on the ground. I want to have position because if I can tackle them, then I can just start throwing.
Then you
punches.
start wailing on them.
Yeah, that was always my move. Was
I-
to tackle and then.
I've only been in fights in public, like against like randos. Like one time I was in West Virginia and my friend let a random guy hit his jewel and the guy turned around. So then my friend grabbed his shoulder and the guy just turned around and punched him in the face. So I came in and tackled the guy. And then I got fucking kicked in the face by some other guy. And I started wrestling a guy. And then my friend came in, Jordan, came on with a pair of Tims and just kicked the guy off of me like 3 times. I've never been so happy to see a pair of Tims flash in front of my eyes. There's my friend's Tim boot hitting this guy, kicking this guy in the face, and then just repeatedly kicking this guy in the face. And I'm covered in blood. I'm like 18, and we're like underage in a bar, and we're getting kicked out. And the guy's like telling us to call the cops, and I look at him, I'm like blood like gushing out my nose because I've been like kicked in the face and like punched. And I was like, I'm 18. Tell the cops about that. And I had like blood all over my body. So he just looks at me and then looks at my friends, and he's like, just leave. Just leave. I'm like, and I'm just bleeding out my face. Like my whole shirt's red. He's just like, leave. Didn't even call the cops. I was just like, I'm 18. What about that? But okay, Nick Nurse is the new head coach of the Sixers. If we had waited an hour after yesterday's show, we would have been able to report that live. What do you guys think, Nick Nurse, the Daryl Morey? He was the Rio Grande Valley Viper head coach back in 2018 or 2017 when Daryl Morey was there. Thoughts? Joel Embiid, is he going to get better?
Hey,
James Harden's gone.
No, James Harden's staying.
Joel Embiid will probably not get better. But you know, the Sixers will probably. I think this will probably just be like a Doc Rivers type hire, for them. I don't think having a good coach is great, but the Sixers are the Sixers.
The Sixers is the Sixers. It doesn't matter who coaches them, but also, hey, I will say this. Instead of a team that always loses in the second round, you know what I think they can do? They can lose in the conference finals next year with Nick Nurse. That's what I think. Improvement. And yeah, James Harden might stay now, actually, because like Nick Nurse is a good coach. And Nick was the best guy in the market, I thought. So like
I've said that also. Nick Nurse is also a good 3-point. He has the Nick Nurse pill. Teaches people how to shoot threes. I wonder if he gets roster control. My big question with Nick Nurse is that Nick Nurse I don't think we've ever gotten to see him build a roster. Masai
He does not
Ujiri,
get
he came
roster
in.
control,
He had the
to
same
answer your
roster
question.
for like 5.
He's not going to get roster control. Daryl Morey.
Has that came out?
No. It's a Daryl Morey thing, dude. Why would Daryl?
Yeah, but Daryl Morey seems.
Maybe he's. Changed.
I don't think he'll have final say, but. Yeah, but I think Daryl Morey and him have a good relationship. So
yeah,
I think
Daryl Morey has final say.
Maybe not get. Daryl Morey has final say, but Daryl Morey will be like, "Hey, of these guys, who do you like?"
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
instead of where Masai Ujiri, it seemed like, "Hey, Nick, these are your fucks. Take care, coach."
Like Masai.
Well, I think Daryl. Yeah, Masai did not seem like communicate or ask him, "Hey, what guys do you like? Who do you think?" I think Daryl's going to bring him in. Hey, these are the free agents or players we're targeting. Which of these guys do you think fit your system the best? I'll try my best to get them, but again, I choose who we sign. But I think Nick Nurse and Daryl Morey will have a lot more of a collaborative relationship than what he had with Masai Ujiri.
It's not going to be like Masai, but it's also not going to be like Quinn Snyder in Atlanta right now. So that's probably the best way to put it. Like, he will have more control than he did in Toronto probably, but then again, it's Daryl Morey, so he's going to want to have control, final roster say.
I just want to know what an actual Nick Nurse roster is. Like, what type of guys Nick Nurse actually likes.
Okay, I'll give you a hint here. Do you want Clint Capella or Eric Gordon? Or both? Or Trevor Ariza in for a workout? Maybe Pat Bev, Chris Paul, depending on which guard they want.
Anybody who used to play for Daryl Morey.
Yeah.
Sounds like
any former Rocket. Which one do you want? I'll give you some roster control.
What about former Thunder? What about former Thunder guys? Let's go give Thabo Cephalosha.
Where was Daryl Morey before Houston?
What other front office was he working in before?
I think the Sixers should look into Russ.
What is it?
Why not?
Oh no, he was senior VP of operations for the Boston Celtics, and then he left to go to the Rockets in 2006.
Wow, that's wild.
That's so long ago. 2006. I was just talking about 2006.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Hoops Hype just released their aggregates.
Luxury that makes you feel.
Aggregate mock draft. We'll just run through this. They compiled the 10 most popular mock drafts from ESPN to the Athletic, Bleacher Report, The Ringer, NBA Draft.net, Sports Illustrated, and they put it together. We'll just run through this real quickly. We got ourselves Victor Wembanyama going 1, which is obvious. 2, they still got Brandon Miller going 2, which I think with more and more days passing, I think it's going to be Scoot Henderson. I just see Brandon Miller. His floor is, in my opinion, Jeff Green. His ceiling is like Chris Middleton.
Wow.
That is interesting that he's still at 2.
I think Scoot's the guy.
At 2, yeah.
Also, I think Scoot's 2.
Yeah,
everyone's over. I think it is, and people are like, you can't get a guard like that next to LaMelo. But guess what? LaMelo has played every single year of his career next to Terry Rozier.
He'll be fine, dude. They'll be fine.
He'll be fine. Okay. Ahmed Thompson, Henry spoke, one of our sources spoke to the Overtime Elite coach, and he said the Overtime Elite coach told him that he doesn't believe Ahmed Thompson can be a point guard in the NBA, and to be most successful, he'll have to be a wing player. I think at 4, depending if they trade the pick or not, I see it's either going to be Amen.
Yeah, I mean
Jarrett,
the point guard skills are there, but I don't think he'll stick at point guard long term. But he still provides point wing type ability for a team that, especially if it's the Rockets at 4, they could use.
I think the Pistons should take Darius Walker, but a lot of Pistons fans have pointed out they have no wings, so Cam Whitmore is kind of the obvious choice there. 6 Asar to the
I think he's
the Magic
overrated.
Makes sense. 7, they have the Pacers taking Jarris, which makes sense. I think that's a good fit for them. Okay, Taylor Hendricks 8 going to the Magic, which I think is a little bit weird because they already have all that front court help. Anthony Black to the 8's the Magic or Wizards? Oh, Wizards. They have My apologies.
Anthony Black will be for the Wizards.
Anthony Black's a guaranteed to go to the Wizards. 9 is the Magic. The Magic are going to take Taylor Hendricks there if he's available. Anthony Black, they don't need another point guard like that.
Yeah,
10, Grady Dick.
Anyway.
Grady Dick makes the most sense right here.
If the combine was anything,
Then
to
I
go
also just
by,
realized he
Anthony
was
Black
wearing
is okay.
Grady Dick's shirt he wore, the button-down corduroy, was low-key sick.
Oh yeah, that's a sick shirt. I guess I never really thought about that.
Kasam Wallace fits perfectly right here. I like him at 11. We'll just move through these a little quicker. Keontae George with Nick Smith. These two guys, Jordan Hawkins, all these guys at these teams. These are teams that need combo guards and wings between these 3 picks. So I can see all 3 of those guys being interchangeable right there. I actually put Kobe Buffkin right here. The Hawks need a backup point guard, and Kobe's like a full 6'5". He can play point and shooting guard, I think. Jalen Hood-Schifino's a guy climbing up the board. He's 6'6". I think he's a guy who can play 1 through 3 in the NBA with a 6'10" wingspan. Could maybe become like a Quinn Grimes. Leonard Miller, I've been told people think he's dumb, but like some people are very high on him. I see him being a top 20 pick. Yeah, dude. Henry thinks low IQ.
Like NBA teams think he's dumb.
Yeah, like low IQ, not like he's like not the brightest tool in the shed.
Yeah, like not the brightest bulb in the box. Interesting.
Yeah,
I did not know that. That is interesting.
That's the like.
I don't know
Leonard
how
Miller.
much of an impact
I don't know how much of the conversation. I'll admit, like, I didn't get those vibes when I talked to him, but I also didn't get the vibes of him being like super smart when I talked to him.
I mean, it's also NBA teams are also
normal.
Like, they talk to him more.
Yeah.
I don't. So it's like they would know more than what we would know, but still, it's a little weird.
I think Chris Murray. I'm not a huge fan. I think he's a role player, but he's NBA ready, so some team will take him as a 3-and-D guy. Jett Howard, he can shoot it. That's it. He's not a good rebounder, not a good defender, but he's got size. So
the defensive potential is there. I mean,
he's a future Laker.
Yeah. Breeze Sinsabo is a guy who is a thick boy, good offensive guy. If he figures out the defensive side, he could maybe be like a Royce O'Neal,
PJ Tucker type.
PJ Tucker, Jay Crowder. He's not a good defender right now though. Derek Lively, he's kind of just a rim protector with no offensive game, just
Willie
rebound,
Cauley-Stein.
but he compares himself to Willie Cauley-Stein. Gigi Jackson, the more and more, I think he's going to be a late first, early second. I have not met a lot of fans of him. Like the only fans I've met of him are NBA media members and like NBA fans. Scouts don't like Gigi Jackson. They think he's an inefficient basketball player.
He also played for a shit team though, so like
I think they're inefficient.
And he was
too young.
No, but also the thing is.
Here's the thing. There's 2 things for that. There's 2 reasons for that. Can I just say
played for a shit team and he was shit for them.
Can I say this real quick? First of all, he reclassified, like Nick said. That's what I was about to say. The kid is a year younger than every guy his age right now. Like, and also he was the only offensive player in the team, and he still averaged like 19 and 9. Like, it wasn't the most efficient 19 and 9, but this kid is a year younger than everybody else in his freshman class. And freshmen already have struggles at the college level. Like,
yeah, he was a top 5 pick though.
The potential is still there. Somebody might get a steal at the end of the first round, but
it's just that Gigi Jackson was like historically one of the most inefficient players of all time.
Yeah, that team was
like,
terrible.
It's really bad.
They had nobody.
Yeah, but what?
Well, I watch a lot of SEC basketball. That South Carolina team was very terrible, and Gigi Jackson was just like he just inconsistent.
Like, he wasn't good, but
he just is young. Like, that was
but for being he should. I think the other thing is they're concerned about his defense. They were hoping that being on such a bad team would allow him to show some defensive talent, but like his defense
and he didn't.
Was not good.
Fair, but
Rain Rupert, I'm a big fan of his. Dude, look at that mic setup somebody handed him.
Damn.
Sick.
I've also just invested in like a whole new mic setup. I'm gonna be able to, for my camera, not only have my boom mic, like my shotgun mic, I'm also gonna be able to plug in the little wireless mic so I can put it on the table. And I bought like a hand rig, a cage rig. It's gonna be sick for the summer league. But Ray and Rupert, I see him kind of like him and Bilal Coulibaly are guys who are kind of in the same mold of OG Anunoby, but Ray and Rupert's way better, more of a point forward, but in that two-way ability mold. You know, honestly, you could say he's maybe a smaller Pascal Siakam. Wouldn't you say?
That 7 foot wingspan or whatever is really nice. That's one of the like.
Tariq Whitehead is a high 6'7" with a 6'6".
7'3", yeah,
Right.
yeah, like that's great.
Tariq Whitehead's a guy that I think is middle risk with high reward. At the very least, he'll be a 3-and-D guy along the lines of like Dwayne Bacon. And if it works out, I think he could be a guy who turns into like, you know, a Josh Green. You know, it's just all how it comes back from the injury. Bilal Coulibaly, he's more of an OG Anunoby guy, two-way guy, freak athlete. He'll fit really well in the NBA. Maxwell Lewis, 3-and-D guy, but like loves defense, wants to be a really good defender, could be another two-way guy. So there's a run of two-way wings right here at the end of the draft. I think Noah Conley is another guy. I think, you know, he might get drafted before Derek Lively because he could be like Kevon Looney in the NBA. You got yourself
He has some shooting potential, which Derek Lively doesn't have at all. So
Taquavian Smith, I see him like Emmanuel Quickly, Tyrese Maxey. His range, I personally believe, is mid to late first round, early second. There's just a lot of wings who might go in front of him, and the teams that need guards are more in the beginning of the second instead of the late first. Then you got yourselves over here to wrap it up. Colby Jones, he's like Josh Hart, okay, with a little Draymond in him. Jaime Jaquez, he's kind of like a DeMar DeRozan type player, I'd say. Like poor man's. I don't know. What would you compare Jaime Jaquez to?
I mean, he's a mid-range. His offensive game is kind of like DeMar DeRozan with less
That's what I'm saying.
athleticism. Like he's a mid-range specialist. He's a mid-range killer. And
Yeah, when I watch him, I just see DeMar on the Spurs. Bobby Klimpman is a guy that's seen as a wing. Then James Nanji, he's kind of like the Ishmael Kamabagate of this year's draft class. Braden Podzinski, he's kind of like a Dante DiVincenzo, but a better ball handler and shooter. You got your Sidi Sissoko. He's kind of a very raw pick. He kind of reminds me of Scott Lewis from the year before, or from a few years back. Andre Jackson is a point forward, I kind of would say, right? You'd say?
Yeah. He's a glue guy. He's a do-everything guy, point forward type.
Tracy Jackson Davis will fall down the boards. He's not that good. Marcus Sasser, he could go where Taquavian Smith went. Amari Bailey's a good scorer. Showed some stuff at the combine. Jalen Wilson wants to be like Josh Hart. He's going to be on a contender. Julian Strawler is a three-point shooter. Kobe Brown wants to be Draymond Green, he said at the combine. And if this shit wants to load. Ricky Council, I don't see getting drafted. Keontae Johnson could be a modern-day 3-and-D wing. Tristan Vukovic, I could see him flying up. He could be a floor spacer for a team. Deron Holmes is a smaller Nick Claxton. Terrence Shannon, kind of like Keontae Johnson, an all-around 3-and-D guy. Trey Alexander is a Creighton shooter. Adam Bona could be a rim protector for a team. Julian Phillips can be, a two-way player, but could go back to college. Ben Shepherd flew up the boards. He's a scorer with some size, just a bit older. I think Olivier Maxence prospers a late first-rounder. He'll shock some people with 7'1" wingspan. Nikola Drucic won't get drafted because he's a bum, and he didn't show up to the combine or didn't do shit at the combine. Imani Bates is probably going to go in the top 10 picks of the second round. Judah Mintz should go back to college. And Jalen Clark is recovering from injury. Dylan Mitchell's a glue guy. Muhammad Guy is a rim protector. Jordan Walsh showed some scoring ability, but the three-point shot's broken. Coleman Hawkins should go higher. I love this kid. And Tosan is a guy that I could see a team like the Hawks drafting.
So that's their top 60 picks in a draft that has 58 picks.
Yep. Now let's go over to Pirtle.
Well, hey, in 2 days we have the draft deadline. So in 2 days we'll know who's coming back and who's not.
Luke, you gonna hop on my 3-hour? What is it gonna be? Year 3, my third year of doing a draft special.
Sure. When are you doing it? Draft day or
on
day
the
before?
draft, the day of the draft, while the draft is going live.
Oh, we're not gonna do like a pre-draft like mock thing, like final mock. Right
No,
before
we
draft?
will. But what I do is I live stream the entirety of the mock draft. And
So
I
we
have
start
my
with the
own-
mock draft and then we go to the draft. Like we're live while the draft starts.
Yeah, and I have a ticketer that we automatically will
That's
continue.
easy. That's easy. Yeah.
Alrighty, so here we are, Pirtle. Guys. 1 second. These have been too easy lately.
Kyle Lowry.
Jamal
Who is
Murray.
that?
Jamal.
Kyle Lowry or Jamal Murray?
I can't.
I'm going Jamal Murray.
I don't think it's Jamal Murray. It's Jamal
Yeah,
Murray.
it is. That was too easy. That was too fucking easy. First try, Nick.
I can't.
What
I
happened?
can't hear anything.
You got it
Fuck.
right. You got it right.
We can hear you, Nick. You're good. You're good.
You're good. You're good. You got it right.
I can't hear that. Dang it, I can't hear anything. This is tough.
I guess this is like some of the news we can cover real quick
No, can't hear anything.
to wrap up today's show.
That's tough.
Bob Myers is expected to leave.
Well, there's
this
a new
week.
Batman coming out.
What are you guys' thoughts? Mike Dunleavy is allegedly going to be announced this week as the new president of basketball operations for the Golden
Like,
State
as in
Warriors.
like Mike Dunleavy Jr., like the
Yeah, Mike Dunleavy Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The former Bull?
the former Bull is going to be the guy replacing Bob Myers. Supposedly, Bob Myers is going to leave the NBA. He doesn't even want to be an exec for another team. He just wants to leave. He's done. He's done.
Why?
He's
Why?
got Batman duties.
I guess
It's
he
a
got
lot of work.
burnt out, man. I guess he got
He's burnt out. Yeah.
Interesting. I guess it's pretty easy to get burnt out when you have a championship roster every fucking year. You know, it must really burn you out to get to the conference finals and the finals every fucking year.
Anthony Simons, Yosef Nurkic, and Naz Little, and the 3rd overall pick, and 2 future firsts for Jaylen Brown.
Deal.
It's not a bad offer. It's not a bad offer. It's not bad. That's like
Nurkic belongs in Boston.
Anthony
Does
Simons
low-key.
belongs in Boston.
Anthony Simons, man, dude, he's ready for a breakout season.
Anthony
He's ready
Simons
for-
belongs in Boston.
Ugh. When he gets some.
So
eyes
here's
on it.
here's the tweet, guys, to wrap up this episode. We got ourselves. The Celtics should consider 2 Jaylen Brown trades to Portland. Kevin O'Connor of the Ringer opines. Jaylen Brown for Damian Lillard? Hell no, if you were going to trade for him. Or Jaylen Brown for Anthony Simons in the 3rd overall pick. I say
Scroll
Jaylen
down,
Brown-
scroll down so I can see what that tweet at the bottom is. What's the picture? Where's the Boston fans at the and
Like Luke, I have to say, I don't feel bad for any other Boston fans except for you. Like I realistically,
it's really easy. Like it's really easy to hate Boston fans.
Yeah.
I'm not.
But would you trade Jaylen Brown for Anthony Simons, the 3rd pick, and
the rest of what we just said? Yeah, but I wouldn't do it for just Jaylen Brown, Anthony Simons, and 1 pick straight up.
I think the Naz Little,
Like
Yosef
more.
Nurkic, Anthony Simons,
And 2
3rd
more
pick, and then 2.
Like that's better.
I'd do
That's
it.
better. That's better to me. I would probably do that. And Dame. I mean, if we could get Dame, I mean, fuck.
It's not even worth doing the trade if you're Portland then.
Yeah, like if we could get Dame, that'd be great. But it's not even like they're not going to do it. So
All right, boys. You got any closing thoughts for today's show?
I have a lot of errands to do today. I hate
That's fair. I got
Uh,
shit on deck.
I'm glad.
Oh.
Hopefully, the Celtics keep Joe Mazzulla. That's what I will say.
Huh?
they will.
Joe,
Looking for his job.
shout out.
Hopefully,
Yeah,
the Celtics
Joe
keep
Mazzulla,
Joe.
we're gonna hear.
Like shout out Joe. Like Joe did. Joe. This team came back from 3-0 down and tied the game before everybody decided they didn't want to make a shot. Joe can't make the team put the ball in the basket. So I hope Joe stays.
Maybe this is my thought. Monty Williams pulls a Quinn Snyder, but fall happens. Celtics look like ass. Joe Mazzulla, because Derek White's trying to do everything. They fire Joe Mazzulla and they hire Monty Williams.
No, they're not hiring Monty Williams. They're hiring Doc Rivers. They haven't won a championship since. They gotta bring it back to the guy who won the championship. Honestly, if they were to fire Joe Mazzulla, we all know who's becoming head coach. You guys know that, right?
Brad Stevens.
Brad fucking Stevens.
That's right. He's gonna Pat Riley himself because it'll be mid-season. They won't. It's just
He's
no
gonna
point
fuck-
hiring somebody. He's just gonna Pat Riley.
It'd be Greg Popovich.
Yeah.
Greg Popovich, yeah.
Greg Popovich it, Pat Riley it, whatever you want to call it. That's what he's gonna do.
Greg Popovich is more fucked because it was literally, what was it, half a season in his first year in the job. Just fire the guy halfway through the season that he just hired and then just said, I could do this better.
Yeah, he said, I'm doing it better. Whereas like Pat Riley was like, they gave Stan Van Gundy more than a full year and it just didn't work, I guess.
Guys,
Happy.
that's it for today. Hope you guys do have a good one. If you guys did enjoy, be a friend and tell a friend. Hit that like and subscribe button. But if you didn't, just forget it ever happened. We'll be back tomorrow, same time as always. Cheers.
Cheers.
Peace.